Time management is keeping track of our day in terms of the most finite resource we have, which is time. And I'll discuss time some other time, but it's pretty much organising each unit of time individually. So each hour you plan that in advance, and that's how you become someone who can manage their own time. And time management is quite important. So you should set some time for each task, and this could be an hour long block or an hour and a half long block if you're planning on doing work or something during that time. But you should plan in advance so that you aren't just making decisions on a whim, because then you're likely to make a wrong decision and spend more time on something than you shouldn't, and spend less time on something than you should. So the reason time management is so important is because these forced compromises are unwanted and they're unneeded. So if we don't allocate enough time to one thing, then that thing isn't going to get done, and that's a big issue for us, because if we don't get that thing done, then we're probably not going to get it done another time, because we're just not making a habit of setting a time, like a certain time to do that. So if we do start setting these times, then we're going to actually know when to do it. We're going to be more confident in when we're actually what we're actually using to do that, when we have a certain thing. So another thing you should do is, well, I already said plan everything in advance, plan your day in advance down to the last minute, even your leisure time. And a misconception is that if you plan out your leisure time, you're not going to enjoy it as much, but I don't think that's really true. If you do plan in advance, then there's no way you're not going to enjoy it as much. You'll probably enjoy it more because you don't feel guilty for indulging in this time, because you already thought earlier on, before your mind was affected by the gratifying lust towards this thing. I am going to do this, so now you know what to do it. So make sure you just plan everything in advance, not just work but leisure time. It's more sustainable to manage your time, so you're able to keep up your life for longer and easier. So you're able to make more use of less, essentially, when you have the ability to manage your own time. So make sure you do that. You're less likely to burn out in turn, or laze about, because you've already said you're going to do this, so you're probably going to do it anyway. So do it, and just make sure to manage your time. And the last thing I want to talk about is sleep. Sleep is very important in time management. A lot of us compromise this particular thing, even though it's probably the most important thing we could do at a certain time. So if you only have 6 or 7 hours extra to sleep, that's probably not a good thing. You want to be getting 8 or 9 hours. Set aside 9 or 10 hours to sleep, because then you're not going to be worrying about some unrelated activity when you're in the last hour before sleeping, or maybe in the first hour after sleeping. You can just slowly get the ball rolling as you get out of bed, and then you're not too burdened by the events of your day that are going to come up on you when you're just getting out of bed. So that's for the short term, but for the long term, time management is needed, because we can't take on too many activities all at once, and it's the whole priority thing again. If we take on an hour of extracurricular activities each weekday, well, that's a big commitment. If we then add another hour to that, then we're just setting ourselves up for an impossible task, and it's gonna come back on us, and that's not what we want at all. It's not what you would have in mind when you book these things in advance. What you have in mind is something good and pleasurable and fun, but when you're in the moment itself, it's not nearly as good. It's not all it's cracked out to be. So make sure to be realistic about it as well when it comes to your time management.